It's Madden NFL 22 on EA Sports, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Packers and the Ravens on EA Sports.
They love their crab cakes and they love their football. That's what Maryland does. And we're at M&T Bank Stadium down near the inner harbor of Baltimore. The two teams emerging from their respective tunnels a minute ago to the approval of this Baltimore crowd. They're all set as their Ravens will match up with Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and CD, you think about our quarterback matchup here. We got a couple of guys who are definitely dangerous when you get down near the red zone. Aaron Rodgers of the Packers, Lamar Jackson of the Ravens.
And you used the perfect word there, Brandon, dangerous. Yeah, they're dangerous just about anywhere on the field, but the red zone, that's where they absolutely excel. And I think it's because they can keep defenses off balance. You know they can run, you know they can pass. The RPOs come into play. But the biggest thing is when the pocket breaks down, they can create something out of nothing and sting a defense.
The veteran kicker Mason Crosby set to do the honors here. And off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. The Ravens offense set to take over and led by a man still just in his fourth season in the NFL, the 2019 MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And 2020 was another excellent season for number 8. Wasn't able to repeat the numbers from his MVP campaign of 2019, but bigger than that, got his elusive first playoff win, and he and the team hope that bodes well for them as they try and move forward in 2021. But let's face it, the numbers were still pretty darn good. 27 touchdown passes, another 1,000 yards on the ground, and 7 scores rushing. This young man continues to be elusive and continues to improve.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run from the pistol here with Freeman. Uses the stiff arm. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy's setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
On the heels of that good carry by Devonta Freeman, here's 1st and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. And this, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that, and here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person, it's a whole different ball game, and all that preparation, it goes right out the window.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he's got some space here. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
How best words to describe that one. I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid game.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against his speed guy on the perimeter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Play action. Now Jackson. Sliding out of the pocket. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know what's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Jackson running again. Now the ball comes loose. And this is going to be Packer football. And hang on here, because still down after that play is Marquise Brown. We'll check on his status when we get back. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line. Following the fumble recovery, Rodgers. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Rodgers. He gets this to Devonta Adams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
From the 35 on second down, Rodgers. This one swung out here to Jones. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Tyus Bowser drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. He seemed to have a reasonable amount of time in the pocket, but he couldn't get rid of the football, and the end result, Charles, him on the ground.
Yeah, he's got to keep an internal clock to go along with his offensive line. When you're talking about 3, 4, 5 seconds, that's a reasonable amount of time to expect to deliver the ball downfield. So great to try and complete a pass, but it's equally important to know when to throw the football away, too.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this will remain a scoreless game. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short. Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in it. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. He wasn't likely to make it in the first place. So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield. Now Jackson on first down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Watkins. And they get him down as he's inside the 40.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. A handoff, Devonta Freeman. Preston Smith there on the stop. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They go to Freeman again on second down. And a nice job to break free of one tackle, but it slowed his momentum somewhat, and he's taken down right after. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. Tucker's kick is good, and the Ravens strike first. It 3's him. So a good kick there. They put the bow tie on it with 3 points.
And let's face it, everybody wants a touchdown. We know that. But in the NFL, defenses are awfully good. You're not going to score each and every time. Be able to knock the ball through the post and take the 3.
By the way, I said bow tie. I meant just bow. Not the tie, but yeah.
Either way.
You got it.
I just went right past it.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
And Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. And they were in field goal range the last time out, but couldn't connect.
And it's early in the game, so I don't think that the confidence just goes entirely out of, running your kicker back out there. But let's face it, some coaches have a little bit less patience for that than others. Let's see if they call the game differently now in terms of what they do on drives and not try and settle for field goals.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the Pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. A give to Jones. Even with the nice move, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. Caught, right side, it's Lewis. And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Well, the coverage was tight that time. They allowed the pass underneath to him, but they rallied to him pretty fast, too. Converged on him and got him down. That'll bring up 4th down.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Oh, this is off the side of his foot. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield. And now here come the Ravens. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They go play action now. Jackson. Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Now, how about that play? He took a possible negative and turned it into positive yardage and slid down to avoid taking a big shot. Excellent job getting down and avoiding the big hit.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 45 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with the run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, that play never really got off the launching pad. He had a linebacker in his face before he had a chance to do much of anything.
Yeah, I think it's big boys up front, that offensive line. They've got to do a little bit better job of protecting him if they're going to continue to run the option like this.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Jackson now. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he will be out of bounds here on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Baltimore. It's the Ravens in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They run. Devonta Freeman. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
2nd and 4. Now they'll run the option to the short side left. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson scampering home from 19 yards out, and the Ravens will add on to their lead. So they're down in the red zone. They opt to utilize his legs instead of the arm. It works out pretty well.
I like what they were thinking there, because in most situations now, defense is accounting for all the other runners on the field and, of course, for pass plays. But the quarterback position, oftentimes it is unaccounted for. Offense coordinator felt it, dialed it right out.
Inside the red zone, is this something teams should maybe, depending on the quarterback, do more often?
Definitely. If you've got a quarterback who can actually move it with his legs, that's an extra option and an extra weapon for you. I think they should utilize it more often.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. And they work this well upfield across the 45.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. The give is to Jones. A solid stiff arm. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Rodgers. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him.
It's a gain of 23 yards.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
A first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. It's 1st and 10 at the 14. This is Jones. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, 14 yards. And the Packers have cut it back within a score. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Extra point up and good by Crosby, and the lead is down to a field goal. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Let's go!
Heading back onto the field, here's a look at Devonta Freeman now. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. Off play action. Jackson. Escaping the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Andrews. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
When you're lateral to the line of scrimmage, linebackers keep those shoulders square so they can go up and down. But when it's time to go, turn your shoulders just like a running back. Get through the line and hit the runner in the backfield.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
That's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a 1st down with his very next run.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Play action. It's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Second and 10. Throwing is Jackson. He'll get that to the rookie from Minnesota, Rashad Bateman. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 32-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
They go play action with Jackson. That's complete, left side to Bateman. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
I know the speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is to having your linebackers set the edge.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's second and 12. Now it's Jackson. Slings it to Andrews, and it's complete. The tight end has it. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple plays ago, that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right, it was a confident call and a decisive run to pick it up.
From the gun, Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Patrick Ricard, a 5-yard touchdown as the Ravens push further out in front. And he wasn't blocking or running it there. They tossed it to him.
And you remember the good old days when the 49ers were riding roughshod in the league? They used their fullback and pass plays all the time. Roger Craig, Tom Rathman, those guys were terrific at running these types of plays.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
I think they still have to show him as a threat. Make sure he touches it a few times. But as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he'll begin the drive with a give to Jones. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Here's Rodgers to throw. And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. To throw, it's Rodgers. Flushed out right, and he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
I like his effort there. He got it done on his own, but let's face it, he puts defenses in a really stressful spot when he takes off and runs because a lot of guys have coverage responsibilities.
Good job of rallying, though, because I thought when he first took off, he might pick up the 1st down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. They call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. The drive will start with a carry by Devonta Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. To throw is Jackson. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. They give him 10 that time as he was able to get away from the pressure and get a nice gain.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got it. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st down, it's Freeman. And he'll wind up picking up about 4 as that is going to bring us to the 2-minute warning. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. behind you in just a couple of minutes. We'll get you to Orlando and our good friend Jonathan Coachman. Coach will run through some of the numbers and the next-gen stats from this first half of football so far. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Throw right side is complete to Andrews, his tight end. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Coming up on a 2nd and 6. Jackson from the shotgun. He goes underneath to Freeman. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. Of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Devonta Freeman there to make the grab. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Now Tucker to add the PAT. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And the ground game's been good, but they're losing here in the second quarter. Can they use that ground game maybe to work the air attack a little bit more?
I think so, because now you can throw play action off of being able to run the ball effectively. And oftentimes you might want to just swing your back out of the backfield, get the ball in his hands in open space, and just don't get totally away from running it, because some of these runs now, they may pop bigger as the game goes along.
Yeah, they've been good with the run so far. Rodgers now on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The fumble on 1st down now. Here's 2nd down. Now it's Rodgers. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And right side, they're going to go option here. And he's got room. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. And it's complete to Adams. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And Crosby puts it through, and that will close the gap down to 14. So he missed his first attempt, remember, but this time he gets back on the bike and knocks it home.
Yeah, and sometimes that first one can really impact you moving forward. It can just stay with you too long and affect everything else you do during the game. In this case, though, able to shake it off. He's riding high again.
Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. On the return is Duvernay. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. So we're at halftime here in the Inner Harbor with the hometown Ravens on top. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First up, though, a look at the next-gen stats for the Packers in that first half. And they didn't get a whole lot accomplished through the air in those first 2 quarters of play. They'll need to up their game if they want to rally all the way back. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, we check out their numbers on the ground as they'll try to keep the momentum going into the second half.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Packers set to get the football first, and they are trailing on the scoreboard as we resume action, ready for the third quarter. On the return, it's Taylor. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Well, the Packers ready to go to start quarter number 3. And they're on the short end of the scoreboard here. Charles, what adjustments, if any, do you think they need to make for the second half?
Or paraphrasing the gold medal hockey winning coach Herb Brooks, I just say you continue to play your game. Throw the ball. They had success doing it in the first half, so make sure you keep getting the ball to your playmakers, a little bit more to the perimeter perhaps, but above all, play your game.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The second half starts with a carry by Jones, and he stopped immediately there. In to make the stop, Patrick Queen, the linebacker, the Ravens' leading tackler in 2020.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything, and against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Rodgers going to throw. He hits Adams, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big connection on that one. 30 yards. Hey, you need a big play? Go to your big play guy.
Listen, that's football 101. When you have to have it, you expect that guy to step up. A lot of people call these receivers divas. Sometimes just leadership when they get in the huddle and say, get me the ball. I'm about to make a big play.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Jones. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
And now you have to wonder, partner, at what point in time do they forget the running game? It's been a struggle so far in this one. I would think they'd have to start throwing it a little bit more.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Here's Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the gun on 3rd down, Rodgers able to find Lazard. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going, a little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
They go back to the ground with Jones. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Justin Matabike there to bring him down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll go again to Jones. 58 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Now Rodgers. And that will be incomplete.
These guys had to settle for a field goal their last time moving the ball down the field. They may have to do it again on this drive. That could be frustrating.
Yeah, I don't want to be cliche, but at least they were able to get 3 last time. 3 here, not the worst thing in the world. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Both sides were holding their breath there on that 4th down play, and the offense can breathe a sigh of relief.
And both knew exactly where the first down markers were. You know the defense is trying to guard those sticks and try and keep people in front, but somehow, some way, those guys found a way to pick it up.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the ground with a tight end. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
They'll run it with Jones. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Working from the gun, Rodgers. He's got it. That's St. Brown, touchdown Packers. It's a 6-yard touchdown pass. And the Packers are back within a score. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Crosby with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So that drive spans 13 plays, and the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much as he's marked down officially at the 21. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the 2nd half. And maybe some renewed pressure on this unit following the touchdown a moment ago. It's back to a 1-score game.
And because of that pressure, because it's now a 1-score game, they know this is where you need to slow the momentum change, because otherwise that could overrun your team. You've got to be careful right here.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Jackson now. And this is going to be hauled in by the tight end Andrews. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Jackson going to take this himself. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. Now that's what he can do when he keeps the football. It's not a huge gain, but it shows how hard it can be to stop it.
Yeah, and I thought the defense had that one pretty well contained, and in fact, they probably came up and felt pretty good about what they did. Then they looked up and realized he still got good yardage out of it. He's a tough guy to stop.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 44-yard line.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Meanwhile, Jackson's throw taken in by Watkins here. And he's going to get this inside the 30. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They go play action with Jackson. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
They've given up a few 1st downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Freeman, he's been busy today. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Now that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater. He just made a great play there.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Here's Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his 1st, this from 41. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points, response there to that opening touchdown of this 3rd quarter.
And that's an important 3, both in terms of adding to your lead, but also in letting the other guys know you're not going to just come out in the 2nd half and take over.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. On the return, it's Taylor. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Rodgers now to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that will be incomplete. They weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On now is the Packers punter as he's on to kick it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. 35 yards that time on the punt, and possession will switch hands. 1st and 10. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. They had that first half lead, but they have been shut down here in this 3rd quarter, so time to retool a bit.
And probably need to tap into that emotional vein that gets them back to really playing hard and effectively. Because a lot of times we think it's just play calls and this isn't working and they're shutting them down. Sometimes when you get a lead, you lose your edge. You don't play quite as hard. That's what they're looking for here.
Trying to get that edge back as they've watched this lead shrink a little. Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked at me like the adopter of my kindergarten teacher always said, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now Jackson. That's taken in by Duvernay. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Play action. Now Jackson. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Chris Barnes. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20.
Keep doing this.
That was just one of those interceptions from our perspective here. We got a good view at the 50-yard line mid-level that quarterback and receiver were not on the same page.
Just by his reaction, I'm talking about the quarterback, he expected something different from his receiver, whether he expected him to break in, out, deeper, shorter. They'll determine that on the sideline. But bottom line, you could see that he thought he'd be in a different spot, except the defender was not his intended target.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. So after the INT, it's Rodgers. And he's got his man. Touchdown, Green Bay. It's Allen Lazard.
Let's do it.
Allen Lazard there to make the grab. And the Packers take advantage of the field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Well, what a quick turnaround there. They get the football. Next play, boom, touchdown.
I've been in a situation before where a turnover occurs, and if you're over on the bench with your defensive mate and you talk about what to do on your next series, and all of a sudden you hear sudden change, you've got to get out on the field and defend right away. Not everyone is mentally prepared to go.
Is that what is yelled on the sidelines a lot of times?
That, among other things.
Maybe some words we can't share here.
Yeah, we'll just keep this one PG.
FCC violation.
No doubt.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead is down to a field goal. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. Duvernay now going to bring it out. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
It's another zone defense. It looks like it's open for possibilities, but they did a nice job patrolling the middle of the field and forcing an incompletion.
A good action to this point in the third quarter, just a 3-point game, 2nd and 10. Play action, it's Jackson. Going deep here for Watkins. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, for Lamar Jackson, we know all about how dangerous he is running the football, but he can really sling it as well, and he connects on a big one there.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
And that throw, pretty impressive, and even 61 yards through the air. Tucker with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. Pretty clean and simple there, just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. On the return, it's Taylor. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 22. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second down, another shot for Jones. Oh, nice move. 85 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
That's a nice run right there, able to get to the outside. And so many times defenses say, okay, we got you hemmed in. But if you're running the football, at least you know where everyone is coming from. You don't have to worry about the backside at all. That allows you to run with a little bit more confidence as you traverse down the field.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Packers who have the football but in need of points as we begin quarter number 4. Rodgers now on first down. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
To throw again on second down. Rodgers. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Tyus Bowser showing his strength and quickness there. A loss of 4.
Remember, throughout my career here, defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. But they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Rodgers now, after the sack, he'll lead the pack up on 3rd and long. Here's Rodgers to throw. Got a man, that's Lazard. Touchdown! Allen Lazard, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Packers have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a one-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long, because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now, we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense, because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Now Crosby for the point after. And the lead is down to a field goal now. So that drive 7 plays in length. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. On the return is Duvernay. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. And back onto the field now comes Devonta Freeman. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground, because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Oh, not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and get the football right back, because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
On 3rd down, Jackson. Open man is Duvernay. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there, because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
They'll run on 1st down. Freeman. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
They go to Freeman again on 2nd down.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. A 20th carry now for Devonta Freeman. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Here's 2nd and 9.
And now Jackson will look to throw it. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. A good job defensively to hold that to 4 yards, and now it's 3rd down.
Boy, that one was well read defensively. And this is all about diagnosis as a safety and being decisive, because he saw it setting up in front of him, able to knife through there and make the play.
The Ravens on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Tucker's kick is good, and that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now, because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. Taylor decides not to try to return it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
So the incompletion, and now it's 2nd and 10, again from the 25-yard line. A give to Jones. Oh, look at the juke. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Throwing now is Rodgers. A check down here to Jones. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. So the completion good for just 3. And that'll bring up 4th down. He got out of bounds. That's a good thing, but still short of the 1st.
And now, since this brings up 4th down, the defensive play caller, grab your nerves, because now you don't want to be so amped up that you give them a 1st down by getting out of your lanes, but you also don't want to just lay back and let them have it easily.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And now a fair catch called for and taken just outside the 40-yard line. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now Sammy Watkins and the rest of the offense getting set to go again. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
They go play action now. Jackson. Wide open is Watkins. He's got it. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And one more time, that's Watkins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. On second down, there's the option going left. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. So that was all you're looking for on a play like that. Get the first down and keep the drive moving.
Yeah, it just looked to me like he just said to himself, I've got this. I'll take it. I'll pick it up, and let's keep moving. Get the first down, get a new set, and let's start over.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Jackson going to run again. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, 35 yards. And the Ravens will add on to their lead.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
So the Ravens will keep the offense on the field as they're going to go for 2. Jackson here is going to look to throw. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. So they go with a pass, and it works there on the two-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on two-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational. You have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a two-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be brought out to the 25 as Taylor elects to not return it. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Rodgers. He'll get this to Lazard, and he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards, and it'll be second and very short. Now a play fake. Rodgers. And he hits his target, the tight end Lewis. Oh, and Lewis lost the football. And it's picked up by the Ravens. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. Always costly to cough up that football. These defenders, they become so adept, though, at jarring it free.
Yeah, it's amazing that there aren't more fumbles caused, because now, if you're an offensive player, you go through ball security drills every single day. It's really not out of line to think you should take the ball to bed with you and just hold on to it. But the bottom line,
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
Previous play is under review.
Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that challenge, a successful one. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've converted 5 times in their many chances thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Rodgers. He hits Adams complete. Shoves him aside. And finally out of bounds, just a few yards short of the goal line at the 3. A big play there. Rodgers to Adams. 46 yards. The thing that hurt on that play, the missed tackle, that allowed the extra yardage.
It's a matchup game in the NFL. You get the guy that you want isolated, have him miss a tackle, and off you go.
After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Rodgers going to throw. And it's a Packers touchdown. Mercedes Lewis from 3 yards out. And the Packers have cut it back within a score.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Extra point try now for Crosby. And that'll cut the lead down now to a touchdown. So that drive, 4 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. The return is Duvernay. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
A first down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter,
we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's fourth down.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. Out comes Devonta Adams in the offense for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession. And he'll be out right at the 35.
I got the sense that the defense created a little momentum for them there, didn't they?
Did their job, forced the punt. Now, nice start to the drive. Offense has to do their part.
Yeah, they certainly do, but what a great start for them. And they've got to go thank the guys on D.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. And that, nearly picked off. Well, it would have been a great time for their first interception of the game. Instead, it's second down. I guess they're in a situation now, fourth quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
To throw again on second down, Rodgers. And complete to Lewis over the middle. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Rodgers now on first down. He'll drop this underneath for Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
Let's go, boys.
We've got a one-score game with inside of 2 minutes remaining. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They come up on a 1st and 10, desperately needing a score here on what could be their final drive. Rodgers' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. He has been terrific today, hasn't he?
He absolutely run flawless 2-minute drill right here. This has been quarterbacking 101 with a flourish.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Rodgers to throw. Oh, Adams, what a grab. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Now Rodgers. His throw incomplete.
That's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw, Rodgers. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves him out there with another chance.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
To throw is Rodgers. Got a man open, it's Adams. Touchdown, Green Bay. Devonta Adams there to make the grab. And the Packers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the final minutes. Now Crosby for the point after. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. So that drive, 80 yards, 9 plays. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild 4th quarter. On the return is Duvernay. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. They've got work to do, but they do still have a bit of time here.
And they've got to feel comfortable with that, but they have all their play sequences called. If they get out of bounds, that allows them to huddle and call another play. But if they don't, it's hurry up to the line of scrimmage and either spike it and stop the clock or continue to move it downfield in order to try and get in range and win this game.
See if they can do just that. Here's Jackson. Connects with Duvernay. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Throwing, Jackson. And that's complete to Brown. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Jackson to throw. He's going to look deep for Watkins. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And the Packers are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. Oh, but a great tackle there. Going to hold him to no gain as the clock runs. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Time to decide this one after 4 quarters of play. We're all even. The extra session in a moment. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And we will not see a return to start overtime. It'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
They go to Freeman again on 2nd down. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Well, that's all about doing the dirty work right there defensively. 2nd and short yardage, that's all about plugging those gaps, not giving a running back a crease to run through, and has a nice job to hold him just a couple and force a 3rd down.
First throw in overtime now for Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete. Just looking down at this with a naked eye, looks like they have about 1.5 yards. Any chance they go for it here?
There's a chance, but I have to say, punt the ball here. Get rid of this thing and try and help your defense a little bit. I know there's that temptation, and I know people have it on their play sheet. I have that one play that'll get me what I need, but if you don't get it, you pretty much handed the game to the other team.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Green Bay's offense ready to go again. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Now part 1 is done, now part 2. Rodgers will bring the pack up with a 1st and 10 at their 38. Running right, Jones. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Jones. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Here's Jones. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. On 2nd down, it's Jones. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
I would think as a play call, you want to look for some quick hitters to your tight end, any type of a route to replace where that linebacker was. Because when you saw the speed with which he reacted and stuffed that play, maybe use that speed against him in the future.
What can Rodgers do now with his drive? And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
On now is the Packers punter. On for a very important punt here in overtime. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. This being their 2nd opportunity in overtime, 3rd overall drive. See if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few 1st downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now it's Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it. And the Packers are going to have it with a chance to win the game here in overtime. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it.
The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Neither team scored yet. Now we go to sudden death. Next points win this game.
How about the tension right now?
It is ratcheted up, isn't it? I mean, now whatever happens, points are scored, that's your ball game. Can't wait to see the defense now. Do they get a little more aggressive in order to not let the team just drive the ball easily down the field?
Got to be careful, though, right?
Yeah, if you're too aggressive, you just give up something easy and cheap. But some defensive coordinators, they'd rather take a stand that way as opposed to being nickeled and dimed down the field.
They throw right away, and that's complete out on the right side. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On second down, it's Jones. And he'll get it out to midfield. They'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Now Jones. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard.